Does Shinobu from Demon Slayer use poison or venom? Because the story claims she uses poison, but that's actually wrong. Hello there, my fandom friends! Today I'm going to be talking about the character Shinobu from Demon Slayer and her ability as a slayer for using poison, is what she claims. I wanted to briefly start off this video by saying that I am actually currently studying to be a wildlife biologist. I know a lot about science and have multiple degrees in this surrounding topic. I love educating people on the difference between poison and venom because most of the world gets these two terms mixed up or incorrect, especially in media. So I love to educate people on what is actually fact instead of what people are kind of viewing from the media as typically being incorrect. I'm going to start off by explaining the scientific difference between poison and venom. Poison is going to be something that you ingest into your body. You are going to drink it, you are going to lick it. It's going to get into your body somehow by you ingesting it. Examples of this in the animal kingdom can be toads. They have pores on their body that, if squeezed or sometimes if just brushed, is an excretion of poison that can be licked by a predator. Of course, we see in TV shows and movies and stories typical poison bottles that's used that's light green and it has the skull on it and things like that. Those are things that are ingested. You are ingesting that into your body, and then in turn you are poisoned to the point of feeling sick. Sometimes it can be fatal. Think about food poisoning. That's all bad food that you are ingesting. You're putting it into your body and you're becoming sick from that. All of those are examples of poisoning. Venom, on the other hand, is something that is injected into you. So for example, getting stung by a scorpion or a bee or a wasp, getting bit by a snake because their fangs are injecting their venom into your skin. They are breaking the barrier of your skin and going into your body to inject that venom into your body, which is then going to move throughout your body and cause a bunch of problems. Of course, just like poison, sometimes that can be fatal. Both poison and venom have different levels to them, so of course you could get sick from both of them, could be in bed for a little bit, other times it can be fatal. So moving back to Shinobu and her ability in Demon Slayer. We know that her ability is basically to inject demons with the point of her sword with a Wisteria-based poison, or so she calls it. Two things here. One, Wisteria. Wisteria is a type of flower that grows in Japan, of course, which is the setting of Demon Slayer. Wisteria in real life is actually poisonous, so if you ingest the flowers, if you put the flowers on your food and then eat it, you are going to be poisoned, you're going to become sick. Humans and demons in Demon Slayer are the same way, especially demons, because this is what we kind of talk about mainly in Demon Slayer, is that demons become very poisoned by Wisteria. It's something that can kill them. Wisteria is termed a poison because it's a plant. When you're thinking about a plant, you're going to correlate that to a poison because plants can be ingested and it poisons you. That could be in the human world, that could be in the wild for animals that live in the wild and accidentally eat a plant that's poisonous. Happens all the time with pets. Happens in the wild if you are a young animal that doesn't know that it's poisonous, depending on maybe the bright color that it's portraying. They will eat it and then they're poisoned. It's the same as them eating like a monarch butterfly, for example. They are poisonous when eaten, and so then that animal that ate them will get sick. They will not probably go after that again because they know that they are poisonous to them. It's a toxin that's entering their body by ingesting. So we have this whole idea that Wisteria is linked to poison. So that is correct. Of course, we have this plant. We're going to associate that with poison. Two, the issue we have with this is going back to Shinobu's sword. She claims that she puts the poison into her sword. Well, what is a sword? It's a sharp piece of metal that inserts into your body. If you remember my explanation of Venom, that's literally what a stinger is. Shinobu's whole character is literally a butterfly, and she has insect breathing. That's her slayer ability. That's her breathing style. Everything about her screams science and screams insects. So it's easy to relate her sword as being a stinger. So if she is technically stinging her prey with her sword, she is injecting their skin with her sword, this pointy piece of metal, and a substance within the sword is going into their body. That is technically venom, although she claims it to be poison, which is incorrect. Do you see what I'm getting at here? There is kind of this fact involving this whole poison ability because yes, Wisteria, this plant is a poison, but it's being put into something that resembles a stinger, and then it's being injected into her prey, which are demons, which technically is a venom. Do you see my dilemma here? And of course, being a science major and loving wildlife, and I love talking about the difference between poison and venom because, like I said earlier, most people don't know the difference. So I love talking about it to educate people. But Shinobu and her ability just scientifically does not make sense. And it's really disappointing because, again, her whole character is a science-driven female character. Like, that's supposed to be the point of what makes her character so interesting and compelling, but there's a side of it that doesn't seem completely true. I'm not gonna say whether her ability is completely poison or completely venom. I feel like both of them are used in her ability, and I just wish maybe it was termed in a more correct way. There are parts of her character that I'm not going to talk about because they're manga spoilers, but she does use poison, and everything kind of involving that side of it, anything that's ingested is going to be a poison. And so that whole aspect of the story is completely true. That is what poison is. It's just her sword and the ability she gets there that I view more as a venom than a poison, even though she's claiming to put poison into her sword. At the end of the day, I don't think any of this matters. I'm going to enjoy Demon Slayer to my heart's content, as I think that you should. I'm not hating on this story in any way. I just found it to be a really interesting talking point. And it's just something about Shinobu's character that I wish maybe we got a little bit more explanation on in a more scientifically accurate way. So after getting my explanation of poison and venom and knowing what you do about Shinobu's breathing style and ability, I would love to hear from you. What do you think in the comments? Do you think she still uses poison even though her sword is being injected into demons' bodies like Venom always is? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear your thoughts, any kind of explanation you have, or if you have any questions for me about poison and venom. She's a very interesting character, and I've never gone back and forth so much about this poison and venom debate that I feel like I am always having with people because no one knows the answer, and I would just love to talk about it more and educate people about the actual scientific differences and similarities between the two. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for me in this video. So I hope you enjoyed, gained a little bit of scientific knowledge today, and I will see you next time. Bye!